Hello, Gun Nation. Big Johnson coming at you. All right, we've got an exciting episode here from Impact Machine. Just had this bad boy done, and if y'all saw the kind of unveiling video, I was at Impact Machine and opened it there with Scott and his son. But yeah, this is it. This is a custom CZ P-09. Give you a little history on it here. This was actually started out as an urban gray CZ P-09. And it did have the threaded barrel and, you know, the suppressor sights and all of that. However, I moved the barrel over to my other P-09, and then I took the regular barrel and moved it over to this one. So we would be doing this with a non-threaded barrel, and you'll see why. But I feel this is the ultimate CZ P-09. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. Just so you know, also all the custom stippling and the Cerakote was actually done by Sapper Tactical Creations, S-A-P-P-E-R Tactical Creations out of Tennessee. But, and Scott works with several partners and, you know, to get these items done. So, but he did do all the custom milling, the MPS cut. He did the sight cuts, the pro kit, you know, all of that. So he put everything in and did all of that. Also, this does have a Rushby Industries trigger. It's R-U-S-H-B-Y. I wanted kind of a flat face one, and Scott highly recommends these. And they are a little different, and I'll show you why. And if you saw the unveiling video, you'll see it's just different. But not that it's bad, it's just different. And again, this does have the full pro kit, everything in it. I did keep it as a decocker model. I didn't switch it to a safety model. I have so many other guns that have safety models, but let's go ahead and get into it up close, just so you can see it. Now, the cool thing about it is a lot of people, and even myself, I was like, why do I not have black stippling? Why is it not black? Because he completely Cerakoted the whole gun with this pattern and then did the stippling. Well, basically it's because it's an urban gray frame. So the urban gray of the original frame is actually coming through, and that's why this is all gray, which I'd never thought it would do that, but I'm very appreciative of that. So we kind of keep a little more tan and stuff. The colors that I did on here, it might be kind of hard to see, but I did OD green, FDE, and orange. So get you kind of a close-up here. I'll move the light here so maybe you can see it a little better. But you can see that it's kind of like got the OD green here, the FDE, and it matches very well with the MPS, but had to get the orange in there. And then after they stippled it, you know, you can see right here in the CZ logo, it has still some of the Cerakote there. And then of course on the back side as well. Did have the memory pads here. And then on the top, here's what was really cool. And this is completely unloaded and all that stuff. He did extend the serrations here and back here, so he did those, but he did do them over the top. And look what we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ports, and then the big chunk port up front. So we've got 4 ports and the chunk port. And he did put these sights on for me. I forget he said this is a name of a particular sight. I'm not muzzling myself, but I'll kind of show you here in just a second. I'll show you a picture of the dot and everything. But we've got that. I'll go ahead and rack it back. I'll have to do it off camera. It's weird doing it around the camera. There's the chunk port, and you can see some of the 4 ports here. But there's the big kind of chunk port up at the front. Did a hell of a job on it. See if we can get you a view here of the dot. I don't know how well it's going to show up in the camera, if it even will. There it is. Hopefully that comes through. But it's got a really good sight picture. I don't know if I can, I'm probably not going to hold it correctly. I'm looking through a camera, so sorry about that if it's kind of weird. But, you know, and everybody would probably wonder, why the hell did you put the MPS on here? And just so you know, the MPS and the Acro would fit this mount, but I had it milled directly for the MPS. So the Acro, from what I understand, he was telling me is a little wider or a little longer. So this now will not fit the acro. It will only fit the MPS. If you want an acro cut where it will fit the acro and the MPS, then you have to do the acro cut. But if I did that, I would have a gap at the front, and I didn't want the gap. I just wanted it smooth and clean. And as you can see, this barrel had been shot a lot prior to moving it over to this gun, but that's perfectly fine. So this one's going to be shot a lot too, so don't worry about that. But we got the Pro hammer in here, all the full Pro kit, all that good stuff. But that Sapper trigger is kind of interesting. You know, you've got your take up, and of course it is in single action right now, unloaded. But you got that, and then when you pull it, it actually goes all the way back. And with my large fingers, you can see I'm actually rubbing the bottom of the frame. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, but I am rubbing the bottom of the frame. So this Cerakote's probably going to get rubbed here, but I don't care. I mean, guns are tools. I like them to look good, but it's going to get worn, so I really don't care. But, you know, and here's the double action I'll show you. It's pretty stout. It's better, but it's pretty stout. Again, double action, and then we'll go into single action. Got the take up, and it's about a 3.2 pound break for the single action. Double action's probably, I would guess, probably 5.5 or 6, maybe on the closer to 6, but really, really nice. I mean, super proud of this gun. It came out awesome. It came out awesome. And also with Impact Machine, if you're looking at having any work done, you can use my code. It's BJGG10, all capital letters, BJGG10, and that will save you 10% off milling, optic plates, custom work, a full build like this, you know, parts, all this stuff that he has to get for your gun, you know, 10% across the board, even wearables. He has hats and stuff like that. Also, he is a full HoloSun dealer. So if you need any HoloSuns and you're doing a build, he can work with you on that as far as pricing and things. So just get with him. I don't want to speak for him, but super great guy. It's a family business, him and his son, and they do awesome work. Now be patient when you send this in. It will take some time to get it done. You know, I sent it in, told him what I wanted done, and then just kind of forgot about it. So when he said, hey, it's ready, it was kind of like Christmas. But, you know, I wasn't in a super hurry, like have it done in a week or anything. You know, just gave him the time to get it done. He also does 1911s and 2011s. So if you need like Prodigies, you know, Gershons, you know, any of the guns tricked out, he goes in and puts EGW kits in them, red dirt triggers, tricks them all out, you know, to kind of bulletproof them in a way, to make them better, even for the less, you know, the budget-friendly 1911s and 2011s. So he's a full custom shop. So, but man, this thing is like a piece of, it's like a piece of art. It's really cool. And of course, the serial number on this barrel does not match the serial number on this gun. You know, I did have to move barrels around, but this started out as an urban gray frame, and that's why I had no idea this was going to come through in the tan on all the stippling, but I'm so glad it did. I was expecting black, and you'll see from the unveiling video if you watched it. So I've got the full pick rail. I will be running a light on here, and I've got a holster from the Armsman holster. So we'll be doing that, but and also he did go ahead and do the base plate of this mag, so I'll show you what it looks like in there. So we've got that. I think that looks really good. And then, you know, if you want to run the longer boys, there's that. I wish I would have sent this one out too to have it done as well, but I mean, you know, black matches the black here, so, and the, you know, the mag release and the sights. But let me know what you think. I think Scott knocked it out of the park. So proud of this gun. You know, as you know, I'd have a lot of CZs that I have customized. This is the 4th gun he's done for me. I'm thoroughly impressed with all of them. I think he does a spectacular job. Also, if you're interested in a lock stand, any kind of lock grips, anything like that, you can use my code. It's BJGG10. That will save you 10% off any lock grips, any stands, anything on their site. And again, that's BJGG10, all capitalized, for Impact Machine and lock grips. So go over there and save you some money. I really appreciate it so much. Big, huge shout out to Scott at Impact Machine and also Clint at Sapper Tactical. Both of them knocked it out of the park on this gun. I'm super, super pleased, and I cannot wait to shoot it. I just wanted to do a little more in-depth tabletop rather than just the unveiling, so you can kind of see it up close. But if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, let me know your opinion. Do you like customizing guns? Did I waste my money? You know, I'm sure I'll have people go, that's a very cheap gun to put all that money into. Again, I like making guns my own, and a lot of these I have 2 and 3 of. So that's just what I choose to do. So, and of course you can choose what you want to do, but he customizes all types of guns. So if you got something you're kind of, man, I want to modernize this, I want to make it better, reach out to Impact Machine and he can probably make your dream come true. Take care, everyone. Remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on.